What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matt Burrill, here to tell you guys about my friends from Big Friendly Productions. Now, they specialize in creating merchandise for bands, artists, and even lifestyle brands. With their in-house equipment, they can provide shirts, branded hats, and more, as well as some graphic design services. They offer order fulfillment to handle your online orders and ship your merch straight to your fans from their shop down in good old Birmingham, Alabama, baby. Now, whether you are getting your first shirt, you're just starting out, or you're going on a 40-show run, hit them up for all your merchandising needs. Check out their website, bigfriendlyproductions.com, or shoot them an email, merchandising@bigfriendlyproductions.com. Now, we're going to get into the episode. This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill. Also, make sure you guys like, rate, subscribe, tell your mama and them. And for more details and to get in touch with the rest of the familia, visit raisrowdy.com. Now, let's get into it. Outside the Round with me, Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matt Burrill. Welcome back to Outside the Round. And today we've got a very special episode. The last couple of weeks, we've been getting on some guys that are newer to town or not even in town yet, that are making some waves and got some buzz here in Nashville and doing the damn thing at a very young age. And this guest today, very excited for, because he, like me, is from the great state of New York. Honestly, like 25, 30 minutes apart from each other. And he's like a little brother to me that I don't get to spend enough time with and hang out with because he's on the road, I'm on the road. We've got my boy, Aidan Canfield, with us today. Dude, we've been talking about doing this, I think, since we first met.
Dude, it feels like it's been like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, because when did we first meet? You came and played our round. That was you and Tyler.
That was in February.
Yeah, so it was right about 6 months.
It was February.
It was February, yeah, because that was when you were coming down and meeting with Justina and meeting with the folks over at Neil Agency and all that stuff. And you played. We got to give you your first taste of playing in Nashville.
Yeah, it was nuts too. I didn't expect like a writer's round to be like that at all.
Yeah, and
that place was packed.
Yeah, and part of the reason that it was packed and busy was the buzz of what you were doing back home in New York.
I guess so,
right?
man.
Which isn't that weird to think about?
Yeah, because I'm still like so clueless when it comes to Nashville.
Dude, I mean, when did you move there? What, it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
In May. Like
in May,
end of May, yeah.
So this is your first summer here.
Yeah, I love it though. Like I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, where in town are you living at?
Berry Hill.
Oh, cool. That's not far. You got that Walmart down there in Berry Hill. Right? Or is that considered
we
Berry
do.
Hill?
Yeah.
There's like
that's
that
like
Walmart.
right next to the Guitar Center.
Yeah, have you been to that burrito place over there?
Baja Burrito?
Bro,
Yo.
Baja Burrito fucks.
Dude, listen, so my drummer now, Wyatt, shout out to him. He's the goofiest guy ever.
Most drummers are. Shout out to Matt McElwain. Drummers are very goofy.
He's he's hysterical. And the first time I met him, like before we played or nothing, I just wanted to grab lunch, whatever, meet him. And he was like, yo, we got to go to Baja Burrito. I was like, all right, whatever. Never been there. And it was closed because I think it was like Memorial Day or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. And we went to Hugh Babies, and then I just forgot about it. And every time I passed by, the line was like long. And I'm like, I'm not fucking going there. I'm not waiting that line. And then eventually I did, and I was like, this is the best burrito I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, blows Chipotle out of the water.
Oh my God. And by the way, that Chipotle over there sucks. Like, the workers are like nice and everything. I think they're like defunded or something. Last time I went in there, they're like, sorry, we don't have rice. Or we don't have like the covers to cover the bowl. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's the key to when you're getting Chipotle. Like when you're on the road, and you're on the road a lot now, probably the most that you've ever been, and it's only going to continue to happen. Austin Neal and the folks over there are keeping you very busy, which is great to see.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of Chipotle on the road because they have them in every little college town has a fucking Chipotle. Even Tuscaloosa, Alabama, great Chipotle there. But you always say you're getting it to go because then you can put the lid on top of the bowl.
Oh, you gotta shake it.
And then you gotta shake
exactly.
it up.
Yeah,
dude, it's like the protein shaker.
Dude, that's why I ask for that every time. I'll get it and then I'll shake and sit my ass right there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Baja Burrito fucks. Berry Hill's a good spot to be. Like,
I love it. And I'm like
close.
I'm right across from a Publix. I walk to I don't have to ever drive to the grocery store. What else is there? There's a liquor store,
There's all that traffic when you get on the 65.
Yeah, that's not the best. 8th Ave is not the best.
Yeah. You go to the local a lot because that's kind of
The
near
local,
the local, the bar that's in town. It's going towards that way a little bit.
I don't think I've ever been there. No.
It's on like the like West End, but a little south of town. Like that's like over by that 8th area. It's a good little bar that has rounds and stuff. Because when I first moved down here, I was a fucking hour out of town, commuting to Broadway every day and bouncing.
An hour out.
I was in Spring Hill, so I was south of Franklin.
Wow.
Like I was down there in the fucking
Damn.
country, bro. And it was funny. When I first moved down here, my roommate Dakota, he's born and raised Middle Tennessee. Looks like your standard 6'4", bearded dude. He's got like 3 middle names. Parents very involved in the local church, all that shit. Really nice kid, and he's married with a kid now, which is crazy to think about from where we were a few years ago.
Yeah.
But when I first moved to town, he took me to a gun store, King's Firearms in Columbia, Tennessee, and he introduced me to the old man behind the counter and was like, "This is my new roommate, Matt. He just moved here from New York." Guy looked me dead in the eye, stuck his hand out and said, "Son, welcome to America." And I was like, "Oh shit,
That's
here we
ridiculous."
go." Yeah, Dakota had to play off. Because down here you can finance firearms down here. So he had to pay off his Springfield 45 that he had, and I ended up getting a Mossberg 500. So I got a little. I was like, I'm in the South now. I got to get a little pump action.
Welcome
shotgun.
to America. That's some shit out of a movie.
Welcome to America, and I've been down here ever since. But the closest I've ever lived to town is Hermitage, which is where I'm at now, and it took me like 4 years to get there. So the fact that you're like close enough to get to your rights, to get to everything, to go out, to go and do stuff with your old lady, like be able to do all that stuff, that's an advanage for you. Like good job getting in that first spot.
Oh, I'm not taking credit for that because I was sending my manager Justine like a million places. Just because I didn't know the area. I was just like looking up, like I was probably on like apartments.com or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, like that area is awful, or like no, like this is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
She found this one, and I didn't even like look at the apartment. I just moved in, and yeah, it's awesome.
You been to Las Palmas?
No, I don't.
It's a Mexican joint next to the liquor store and the Kroger that's down there by the Chick-fil-A on 8th.
Is it next to like Fenwick's?
It's over in that way, and over in that area. Yeah, there's a lot of. We could talk about. I'll give you some. What's been the biggest culture shock coming from Westchester, bro? Because you grew up more in the city than I did. Like Westchester, it's suburbs, but it's you're on the the Bronx is right there.
Yeah,
like I grew up on the other side of the
worked
river.
there a bunch too. So
worked where in the Bronx?
No, like just in the city, like all over.
What were you doing? Well, your dad's in the union, right?
Yeah, I was working for my dad. And that was that's not one specific spot. It was like everywhere. So.
And what exactly? Because there's in the land of New York, the South doesn't have these. There are tons of unions. There's a union for literally everything. So what was the Canfield family trade?
Local 52 was set dressing for movies and TV. So I was like just carrying furniture and putting up curtains and getting like yelled at by like designers and shit. Yeah.
Did you get to meet any like cool people? Because it's like sets for things, or were you in there early before everything?
And I don't even know her name because I'm really bad with like actors' names. Awful, actually. So I was working on a show called The Gilded Age. It's on HBO.
Okay.
I don't like it. It's pretty boring.
Yeah, I've never heard
My
of it.
mom loves it. I think it's like an older
Shout out
show.
to Kath. Shout out to Kath. I know she's gonna be watching
shout
this.
out, Mom. But yeah, it's like an old, takes place in like the 1800s. It's about like the rich people from, like the rich people in America, I don't know, Vanderbilt, like people like that. And we did a lot of shooting in New York and a lot of stuff in like Rhode Island because like their summer homes would be in Rhode Island. And the main character, she's an older woman. She was in like Mamma Mia and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea either.
I saw her in the COVID line one time, and it was like 6 a.m. I was like, fucking whatever, I don't care.
That's crazy to say.
Yeah.
I saw her in the COVID line.
Yeah,
like
we had
tested?
to get tested like at one point like twice a week.
Whoa.
Because it's a movie production. It was like nuts, dude. Yeah. So
That's wild. Yeah, because you got to be up there because you're what, 21?
Just turned 21, yeah.
Yeah, which is fucking
great.
Awesome. Yeah, that changes things a little bit for you.
Especially in Nashville.
Yeah, that first time you came down, you weren't even 21 yet.
No.
But growing up in Westchester, bro, like, cause I'm actually flying into Newark tomorrow. I'm going home for a couple days. My family,
yeah.
my mom and dad just sold the house. My mom and stepdad just sold the house up in Rockland. They've had the house in Delaware for a while, and it's like you pay $20,000 a year in taxes on a house in Rockland or Westchester.
That's ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like great place to grow up. Never gonna regret growing up in New York. Like great schools, all that shit. Awesome. Playing Section 1 sports. Fantastic. Great way to grow up.
Section 1.
Yeah, Section 1, baby.
Jesus.
Shout out. But like I'm going up and I'm doing like a food tour in the village. I'm bringing my girlfriend up with me because it's like the last time that my family's gonna be living up there because they're selling the house. They close in the middle of August.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be driving her around Rockland and stuff. And she's like, "Don't you live in the city or like being in like the city area?" And it's like Rockland and Westchester, like as suburbs, it's a weird spot because everybody in the city is like, "Oh, you're from upstate." And then everybody from upstate's like, "You're from the city."
Yeah. It's well, because like on the map it's right there, but like the second like you're, and I did it all the time, the second you just drive out of the city and you're like on like the Springbrook Parkway, like going into like the bottom of Westchester, it's completely different. Because it's all like, you go from driving around like big shitty buildings to like nice trees and like reservoirs and shit.
Yeah, go over to Scarsdale and it's like you're at Harry Potter Hogwarts.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and I got a big sense of that when I was going to Cortland.
Oh yeah, that's right. You went to Cortland.
Yeah, so I was
gym teacher.
Yeah, and actually last night I got a DM from the new Cortland wrestling coach, and he was like, "Dude, I lived in Nashville for 15 years. Like, I love country music. Like, I'm a fan of yours, and like just made the connection last night that you like wrestled here for a semester." And I was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "Can I send you some T-shirts?" I was like, "Sure, I already got a bunch, but please send me some T-shirts. I'll wear them." He was like, "Shout out Red Dragon Wrestling." I was like, "I mean, I'll do it right now. Shout out Cortland Red Dragon Wrestling."
Yeah.
And I got a DM like almost, I felt like midnight last night. I was like, "This is so cool." The Cortland wrestling coach is like, "Yo, dude, love your stuff." I'm like, "Dude, I wrestled there."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Cortland, I definitely got the sense of like the kids you'd meet from like Buffalo who talk like they're from the Midwest. Well, you know, they would say like, "Oh, you're like from the city," basically. And then the kids from like Long Island would be like, "Oh, you're upstate." And it's like, "No, I'm not, dude."
Yeah.
Like, I'm right here. I'm probably closer than you are with traffic.
Oh, yeah. The LIE, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
They're making it faster. How are the townies in Cortland? Because I've been up there, I think, twice. Because I went and visited Cortland. I went and visited Oneonta. Shout out to Stoneonta. I had some good friends that went there. And then the Cortica game, too. I'm sure you got to experience that while you were up there.
The townies are, I never had a bad experience. I mean, I have like some crazy videos on my phone, just like walking out the bar. There's this one old dude who would walk around with like one of those big stereo like boom boxes, and he had his own like rolled cigarettes, which was a little sketchy, but we would still smoke them.
Yeah.
And he was just a cool guy. The town, I mean, I really never had like a bad run-in with any of the townies. I mean, they're just like super country looking people.
Yeah.
And then. And what else you have said? The Cortica.
Yeah, Cortica.
Cortica is sick. I got fucking hammered.
Isn't it wild that a D3 football game can be that big to
It's crazy.
a community? Like, there's a whole, for the entire state of New York, like everybody knows someone that either went to Ithaca or went to Cortland.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's like people know about it. Like my manager Justine, she went to Cornell. She's smart pants.
Yeah, well, that's why she's managing and looking over all the contracts.
Yeah. But even she would like knows about Cortica and stuff. It's a big thing, dude. It's like, it's crazy, and everybody like goes nuts for it. It's so fun. And since I wasn't 21 yet, I didn't even like try to go to the bars. We were just kind of like mobbing around the streets of Cortland, just drinking beers. Yeah, have you ever seen that video from like Cortica 2013 or something?
I don't know. That would have been when I was in college. I went to Rider, but I had a lot of friends that went to Cortland and played football there. I was in college from the fall of 2013 to the spring of 2017. Okay. So that would have been my time.
Dude, you have to watch this video. It's nuts. It's like this is when they like kind of started like being more strict on like the student body like during Cortica, because this video is this whole, I forget what the street name is. I was only there for a semester. But there's one street that like, it's this big hill, like goes from like top of campus all the way down to like where the main street where all the bars are. And this video is like jam packed with kids. Like kids are flipping cars. Shit's on like fire. Like it's literally like something. It's like Project X shit. Like the cars are being flipped. In the video, kids are like getting like thrown down and arrested. Like it is wild. And it wasn't like that at all when I was there. But like what we would do is like we'd pull that up on YouTube like while we were pre-gaming like for Cortica, and we'd be like fuck yeah, and like just get hammered watching like these old Cortland students like flipping cars and shit.
And they do the game. They've done that game at MetLife, right?
Yeah,
Which is pretty wild that you would take an upstate New York rivalry and bring it down to the armpit of America in central New Jersey.
Yeah, dude, I think they might have done it at.
Did they do it at Yankee Stadium?
No, that's what I was thinking. I really don't know.
Because they've done it at different locations now since it's gotten bigger.
Yeah, when I was there, I think it was the year after they did it at one of the stadiums. When I was there, it was at Cortland. Yeah, when I was there, I didn't even go. Like I was just like because there was a live stream and there were so many people there. Like we were late to buying tickets and we were just watching the live stream like in a dorm room. And you would like we kept the window open because like you'd like see something. You'd hear the chatter and like the screaming like before you saw it because it was a live stream. So you'd hear chatter and you'd be like, okay, was it good or bad? And then it would take like 10 seconds for the TV to load. So it was kind of funny. But yeah. That was a good memory. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah, dude. That's because that's my thing. I didn't go to a SUNY, but I applied to a bunch of them. Like I got into Albany.
That's a good one.
Albany, Oneonta. I ended up somehow going 9 for 9, but I picked Rider. I wanted to go to Quinnipiac because that's where my parents went, and Quinnipiac is the quintessential rich kid party school. So I would not have been able to afford to go there.
I mean,
they just won the hockey national championship.
Oh,
the
did
Big D1, the Frozen Four, which is their first. But that's where my parents went, and like that's where like I wanted to go, but I ended up going to Rider. But I had friends that went to Plattsburgh, and were going up and partying in Montreal.
My cousin went to Plattsburgh. Yeah,
it's a different world up there. And then I have my stepbrother and his girl went to Oswego. I have a stepbrother that's going to school at Binghamton. And we did
Binghamton's great. That's a good school.
Binghamton's a really good school, and it's a fucking big school too.
Yeah, dude.
And we went there. Remember, McElwain? We did a show. We did that Touch of Texas show. Remember, we went out to those bars. I took all the Southern boys out to the bars in Binghamton, and they were like culture shock because it's like there's not a band playing. It's all DJs.
Oh, it's just DJs, and it's just like a bunch of
underage kids just fucking rage.
Yeah, bro.
It's like a daycare center.
Yeah, but I mean, before I was at Cortland, I was at Bucknell, which is like completely different.
Yeah,
Bucknell is like private school, like super rich kid. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
and all I was doing there was wrestling and drinking. So
yeah,
it wasn't the best for me. And I was like an intro like engineering major thing.
Oh shit.
It was bad, dude. I did not. It was really bad, and it was during COVID. Like, I didn't go to class. Like, I would literally I'd wake up super early for wrestling practice and make that, and then I'd come back and fall back asleep and miss my classes.
Yeah.
And it was super expensive, so I just left.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. What weight class were you wrestling? I'm guessing like a middleweight, right? Or they shred you down to a lightweight?
So when I was at Bucknell. I mean, that team was really good. There was one kid on my team who was the starter at 165. He was like ranked like second in the country. Like and it was Division I, so he was like, I think he lost in the NCAA semifinals to the kid who won it. Like, his name's Zach Harbin. He's really, really good. And I met some like I talk to all my friends from Bucknell still, and I really don't talk to anybody from Cortland. But when I was at Bucknell, I wasn't really like strictly in a weight class because the team was so good. There was probably another kid ahead of me who would wrestle before I would. But at Cortland, I got all the way down to 157.
Whoa.
Yeah, which right now I'm probably like 178 or something.
Isn't it nice to not have to cut weight?
Yeah,
you probably did that for most of your life.
Yeah, but I miss being like ripped and shit. You
know?
Oh
yeah, dude. Because I had buddies that would. It's like in New York. You have a lot of 3-sport athletes. Like in the fall, you play football, or you're doing.
That's what I was until I was a sophomore.
Yeah, you're doing football or there's the weirdos that play soccer, or there's the guys that run cross country that like to do everybody else's punishment where you have to run, but they do it for sport. And then in the winter, you're either playing ice hockey, you're wrestling, or you're playing basketball. You're doing indoor track and field, and the bigger football players are throwing. And then in the spring, it's like baseball, lacrosse, a lot of lax bros. Like, we come from the land of lax bros and wrestlers.
Dude, Pleasantville's nasty at lacrosse.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Pleasantville's ridiculous.
Yeah, because I went to Clarkstown South. So we were a big, like, we had, when I was there, my junior year, we had Christian Ali and his black kid, funny enough, which was rare to have in Section 1 lacrosse at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one game we played, or I used to travel with the team because I worked with MSG Varsity. So
you were telling me about that.
I would cover,
MSG, man.
So I would cover, like, we had the Jersey, New York thing where we hosted it at my high school. And we did all that stuff, and like Mike Quick and like all those guys that were like big in the sports media stuff. But I remember Chris one game. I forget. I think it might have been against Nyack or somebody in our county, and he fucking went from all across the field as the goalie and fucking scored.
Damn.
Like, he was that good. He ended up playing at Rutgers, and I think he coaches with the U.S. Olympic team now, or coached at Rutgers or something. But like, the sports culture down here compared to the sports, because high school football down here is nuts.
Football.
High school basketball is huge down here. High school baseball is huge down here. But up north, it's like wrestling and lacrosse, and football is still big back home. Basketball is still big. I mean, the New Rochelle game, I was there when, or I was at the game before the New Rochelle had that crazy moment, that full court shot at the end. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't think I remember that.
The two kids, it was on ESPN. It was like a top play for like a couple weeks.
You remember the kid from Ardsley, Julian McGarvey?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Ardsley. I didn't go to Pleasantville until I was 16.
Oh, really? So you're an Ardsley kid, really?
I'm an Ardsley kid at heart, for sure. Yeah. My parents grew up in Ardsley. Like, I'm still, all my best friends are still from Ardsley and Pleasantville. It's kind of cool. I have like this big Ardsley Pleasantville friend group, and they hang out with each other now.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I like just moved to Pleasantville, and that shot was nuts. Remember, it was like the Miracle McGarvey.
Yeah.
He was interviewed on ESPN. It was
That's what I'm saying.
Nuts,
that's
dude.
what I'm saying. There's been some cool like historical moments, like to come out of Westchester and come out of Section 1 sports. And I just remember going over there and playing games because, like, at the time we were AA. Now South is back down to A, which is kind of funny because in our town we have two high schools. You have Clarkstown North and you have Clarkstown South. Each of them graduate over 400 kids. So it's like if you put them together, we'd be like an Arlington, or we'd be like a North Rockland, or like one of the bigger schools. Now we're down and we're down a class and we're having a lot more success. But like, we would play New Rochelle, we'd play Mamaroneck, we'd play Scarsdale, we'd play who else would we fucking play? We'd go up to Dutch.
You were at South?
I was at South. So we played Mayapack, we'd play RC Ketchum, Arlington,
Ketchum,
like all those schools. Fucking Ketchum, dude.
Yeah. I mean, wrestling, we wrestled Clarkstown North every single year.
Yeah.
My wrestling team in high school was good, dude.
I bet.
The only team we ever lost to, like really ever, was and we were in small. So with wrestling, it's just small schools and big schools.
Yeah, so you were probably going against like Pro River and Nanuet and people like that, right?
Yeah. And Pro River bounced in between big school and small school.
Yeah, every year, the Irish Pirates. 90% Irish Catholic town.
That place is crazy. Yeah. But no, we'd wrestle Clarkstown North and like we'd wrestle all the big schools like most of the time, and the only team we would ever lose to is the team that won the big schools, which was Fox Lane. And,
dude, we play them too.
Dude, we would lose to Fox Lane by like a match or like points every single time we wrestled them. And we would usually just blow out the teams in small schools. And we were good, dude. Our team was ridiculous. Like, it was like wrestling freaking central in this small little town, Pleasantville.
Yeah. So when did the pivot happen to where being a collegiate wrestler in New York, and then COVID happens and life changes and you get time to figure yourself out?
Yeah.
When did Aidan Canfield writing songs and doing this, like, because you're kind of in a genre of your own, the way I look at it. Like, there's definitely you're part of this wave, and you've heard me talk about it on this podcast before, I'm sure. Like, I talked about it with Landon, I talked about it with Caleb. Like, you're part of that there's this tree of like since Zach Bryan and Tyler Childers and those guys were doing like storytelling stuff. But then there's the northern influence where like that sounds like a Springsteen kind of song. Like you have
dude.
that element.
That's kind of how it started for me with him. So when I was I got like, I didn't pick up the guitar until I was basically 18. But when I was like 16, 17 is when I started like to really like listen to music. like I like went out like on my own and I like looked for music I liked, and a lot of it was like I got hooked on Bruce because it was always in my ear growing up because my dad's a big Bruce Springsteen fan, and so was my mom.
Bro.
Yeah, dude. And then once I started listening on my own, I was like, this is like the shit he's talking about is ridiculous. Like, I remember the first time I really listened to his song. It's called "My Hometown." I mean, like the lyrics in that are nuts. Like he's talking about like a racial divide in his high school and like this shooting, and then he talks about like jobs leaving and like just it's so like it's so like New Jersey, New York. It feels, and I was like, this is crazy. I was like, is this what it was like my dad growing up? Like I was like, and it makes you think. It was so I really started listening to him a bunch, and then I picked up the guitar like I think in the football season of my senior year of high school. So 2019, 2020, and then COVID happened. COVID shut down everything a week after the state tournament for wrestling, which is good. I got that in. And I still sucked. Like I was playing like a few songs. I could play a few songs like I would listen to. Like I played like a Matchbox 20 song well and like a Luke Combs song well. It was so random. And yeah, man, I just kept playing. Still, I would sing to myself here and there. And then I didn't start like singing until I left Bucknell, so like a year later. So 2021, 2022, that spring semester after I left Bucknell, I went to work for my dad, and a lot of it was in like Rhode Island and just in a hotel room. And I had my guitar, so I'd get home from work and I'd sit in that hotel room and I would like start to post TikToks of me singing, and they're still on there and they sound awful. Like I was covering just random shit. Like I was covering everything from like Fast Car to like a Tyler Chiller song or like a Thomas Rhett song, and then that was when I started writing too. I think I wrote my first song like in a hotel room in like Rhode Island.
Yeah, and you've kind of taken a different approach to where you're new to town and you're still relatively new and figuring out this music thing. You're learning very quick and you're doing fucking awesome, but you have a whole album out already.
Yeah.
Like, what was the decision to do that? Like, before you even come to Nashville, think about coming down here.
Yeah. I mean, no, when I did the album, even when that album was put out, there was no plan for me to come to Nashville at all.
Where'd you record it at? Like, how does all that?
How does
all that happen?
I wrote that first song. So I ended up going back to school the next semester because I wasn't like I picked up the guitar, I started writing songs, and I was like, light bulb, like this is it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that at all. But when I was in Cortland, I was, instead of like skipping class because of wrestling, which I would still go to wrestling practice, I was skipping class because I was writing like crazy.
Yeah.
And I wrote that first song, The Idea of Me, in my dorm room at like 3 a.m. I wrote like that other song, Never Lose, in my dorm room. I wrote that other song, The Only Good, in my dorm room. Like a lot of those songs were in that little dorm room I wrote. And then, my grades were fine, and I think I just called my parents and I was like, I don't want to fucking be here. Like I'll go to work for you, Dad, but like I want to try and do this. Like I think I write good songs. Like I want to try this. Then I got home, and probably a month or two later, I found the guys who helped me produce the album, Mike and Nick Squilante, which is funny. Their dad was my chorus teacher in middle school.
No shit.
Who gave me detention like every day.
That's funny. I got kicked out of chorus.
I should have.
I got kicked out, and I had to take a class called General Music, and I had to write papers
about General Music. I remember that.
Yeah, dude. We were in the same fucking curriculum.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was chorus, band, or that. And if you were in that, that's bad.
I took that, dude. I took that because my chorus teacher, Miss Blank, grumpy old Jewish lady, hated me.
That's the most New York, New Jersey thing ever.
Miss Blank in the 6th grade, pain in my ass. We had to sing that gym class hero song, that Take a Look at My Girlfriend. I was like, I ain't doing this shit.
Yeah, dude.
I did not. I was not. So it's funny, I work in music now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't their dad that like I got in the most trouble with, but I think the year before or after, I had a different chorus teacher. And I got a lot in trouble one time. I think I just got, not a lot of trouble, I got like a few lunch detentions, but he was like, conducting or whatever, and he had a really hairy stomach. Oh, and he was wearing this short sweater. So I kept asking him questions because it was hysterical. I was like, kept asking him like what all the arm motions meant and stuff. So he kept like lifting his arms, and the sweater would come up, and you see his hairy stomach, and he did it like a bunch of times. Eventually, he caught on after all of us were hysterically laughing at this guy's hairy stomach. But yeah, I had no interest in that shit. But anyways, those guys, Mike and Nick, their dad, he knew my mom and stuff, and he knew me because my mom worked at Ardsley. So yeah, I think my mom sent him a DM or something. My mom was like, "Hey, my son like writes stuff and like wants to record it. Like, heard you guys are the best." And he was like, "Yeah." And I called him. We did that first song, "The Idea of Me," and then like it did super well. And then I just kept like there was no plan for me to like do an album because I was still writing. I was still writing everything as I was recording them. So I did put out that song, and then I put out another song, and then another song, and I think I put out like 7 singles. And I was at a point where I was like, all right, well, I have 7 singles out. That's like long enough for an EP already. Like, probably longer than most. And I still had like a shit ton of songs that like were all in that realm of what I was writing. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to record 5 more and then put them all together, and that's going to be an album. And it was like just that, and it was cool. I wrote every song by myself. And
that's impressive, by the way, to do. And now you're probably doing a lot of co-writing with the pub deal and everything. Sure. Mm-hmm. But to come up with a whole album by yourself at that age, that's kind of unheard of.
Dude, it was a blast. I mean, I was so like laser focused in on it too. I was just constantly trying to write something what was cool was like after like those 6-7 singles were out, but then I kind of took a look at those 7 songs and I wanted to have 4, 5, 6 more. Ended up being 5 more, 12 songs. And I didn't like technically like write a different way for the album, but I was kind of like, okay, well, like out of these 7 songs, what's a song that would like fit in there but is different? So like those next 5 songs kind of like came out of that headspace, and it all came together super well, man. And I just love albums like so much. I feel like they've lost their value now that they're just a picture on your phone and not like something physical. So yeah, I think the whole album thing was kind of just like, I think I did it more for myself because a single is like what you do to really throw it out there. And I think those 5 songs probably would have done a lot better if I did that, which is fine. But I just wanted to like make a project for myself because it's like I was writing that from when I was 19 to 20 years old, like in that, weird area of dropping out of college and figuring out big boy stuff.
And being in Westchester, New York during COVID.
Yeah, so it's not like, and
that's
it's
a weird time.
And so it's not like, but honestly, I think that's why it came out a little bit more country, because during that time of being in, upstate New York, during COVID, me and my friends, like the only thing we did was ride our bikes to the woods and drink, like which is like not a very Westchester thing to do.
No, not at all.
But that's all we did in high school. So like when people hear I'm from New York, they probably think I'm some like person I'm not. You know what I mean? But no, the way like I grew up with my friends, we kind of just did. Just reckless, like small town shit.
Yeah, that's what I say. But that's why I'm excited to be going home this week. And my family, I'm sure your family like for generations has been kind of in Westchester.
Everywhere, just only Westchester.
Yeah,
like,
and that's
all
like
of them. Yeah.
On my mom's side, we go back to like my great grandparents went to high school and. Went to high school in Rockland,
yeah,
like so. I'm like 4th generation.
Probably
in the
came
county.
in on Ellis Island or something.
Yeah. Well, my great grandparents for sure. I think like everybody came in on like Ellis Island and stuff, and it's like there's like especially like in Rockland, you've got like you go up to like north, like you go to like Sloatsburg, and you go to like places like that because like the Appalachian Trail like runs through my side of the river. Like Bear Mountain's right there.
Did you live in New Jersey?
So I lived in New City. Right by the Palisades Mall.
Okay.
And then I went to college at Ryder. and I would go to, and then after Ryder, I worked for a radio station in the New Brunswick area.
Okay. Wait. So New City is New York?
Yeah, it's Rockland. Yeah,
Oh,
it's right next to
okay,
to like Nanuet, Valley
Yeah.
Cottage,
For
Congers,
some reason, I thought you
Nag.
were living in New Jersey.
No, well, I lived in New Jersey for a little while. I wasn't
Okay.
like an official resident. Like
Yeah,
my billing address would have still been in Valley Cottage. This is where my mom and my stepdad moved in together.
Yeah.
But like my grandparents were in Congers. Like it was all like Rockland Bakery, like this and that, and like going to the Palisades Mall. But like I would couch surf after college, working at the radio station, because New Brunswick to like where I was from to where I was working was like an hour and 45 minutes, sometimes 2.5 hour drive, depending on if 287 was gonna be good to me or not.
Yeah,
you know?
I got a song called 287.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'd love to hear that. I spent so many nights and so many mornings and just so many days driving up and down 287 and going over to the bridge. Did you see the video? My mom sent it to me the other day of like people, like they shut down the TZ bridge. I'm always going to call it the Tappan Zee bridge. It's never going to be the Cuomo bridge for
it's
me.
Tappan Zee
Never.
bridge.
It's always going to be the TZ.
Yeah.
Doing fucking like burnouts and shit. And they like close the road, like just idiots.
What?
In the middle of the night, just blocking traffic.
The Tappan Zee bridge?
Yeah, dude. I'll have to send you the
How
video.
did they close off the road?
It was just these dudes starting burnouts. They got out of their cars and were fucking blocking traffic. And the cop was like
Dude,
trying
what?
to stop them. And
I
nobody
did
was
not
fucking
see
listening.
that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after this, dude. It was fucking
That's
wild.
nuts.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time in Jersey, and that's where I got involved in the country scene, was doing shows at Jenks, doing shows at Starland Ballroom, doing shows in Hoboken at Maxwell's Tavern when that was around. Like I saw Old Dominion at Maxwell's Tavern. That's like a basement kind of room in Hoboken, so you know it's not big. And I saw Old Dominion play for a sold out crowd of like 85 people.
That's
or like
wild.
100 people. Like it's wild to look back on. And there wasn't much of like a local country scene in Westchester and Rockland, but I saw you got to play some shows up there. Like you still found a way to go and play at the Saloon in Pearl River, go and play at places like that. Like what were those initial kind of gigs like? Because like we had Landon on a few weeks ago and he was talking about like playing at the coffee shop and then taking it from the coffee shop to a fucking parking garage and playing.
Yeah,
with
I
the
mean,
band
so
there.
I literally like I had like a 1 year ago today memory of, it was probably a few weeks ago, our first like real gig as a band. And before that I would do like an open mic here and there.
Where were those at?
There was there's a bar in my town called Lucy's, which we ended up like doing real shows. And then I did an open mic at like the random pubs in like Newport, Rhode Island when I was working there.
Okay, yeah, so you were doing the music thing up there too.
Yeah, but I was kind of just here and there. It's just like my dad would honestly like kind of make me do it because I would shit my pants about doing it. I was terrified of it. And literally, like I had like a 1 year ago today thing, like a few weeks ago. Our first like real thing as a band was we played. So there's the Greenberg Pool, which is like in Ardsley. They have this thing called Greenberg Day. It's just like a fair for like little kids. We played that, and it was like literally just on like a floor. There was really no reason for us to be playing. It was my uncle. My uncle runs it, so he was kind of just be like, "Hey, bring your band," and I had a few friends come and family. And we did that, and then we got a date booked at this place called Lucy's Garage in Pleasantville, which is like a big music thing. They got like a nice stage and a sound system for what it is, and from that first show we did another 3, and we've sold it out every single time for like 140 people, and it's like a big party, dude. We play for like 2 hours. My buddy Jeff, who plays guitar, he would open the show because he does his own thing. And dude, it was just so much. I mean, it was, everybody would get hammered. Like we would play like so many songs. We would play Revival by Zach Bryan, and there's a video of me pulling up like all of my friends on stage, and we're all just like partying.
I think I've seen that. Yeah,
jumping, and the guy who owns the place was probably like twitching like when we were doing that. But yeah, that's how I started playing shows.
When did you cross the river and start playing? Because I saw you played in Rockland a little bit.
Yeah, so I have like a pretty big family, so everybody always knows someone.
The beauty of New York, the familia.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, in Ardsley, I'm actually friends with his son and everything, but his name's Mr. Casey. He owns the Saloon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit, and that is like one of the biggest bars. That's probably the biggest bar in Rockland County.
That was my first time there, and I played it.
That's the place that charges $100 cover on Thanksgiving Eve and on New
Holy
Year's Eve. Yeah,
crap.
that's a place that it's tough to get. It's tough to get into.
I did not know
and
that.
And my family business with Culligan Water that my family had for generations in Rockland, they were one of our like clients. So like we would go, I would deliver salt over there and do all that shit. But yeah, Pearl River is like a fun. You ever been to St. Patrick's Day there?
No. I've my cousins who like are also really like cool with and close with. Their last name's Kilkenny. They
Perfect Pearl River name.
Irish as fuck, dude. Just so
Yeah.
I'm like 100% Irish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they made the right move to go to Pearl River. But yeah, he was telling me about how St. Patrick's there is just like,
Dude, it's nuts.
a circus.
Timothy Dolan, the Cardinal, comes every year. They have Timothy Dolan, dude. And they have the parade, because
That's crazy.
yeah, dude. I grew up going to that. Like, I have a little bit of Irish in me. I got to do one of those tests. My dad had sent me one.
My
to
parents
do.
did that. That's how I know like what I am.
Yeah, my dad had sent me one to do, and I never I spit in the tube, but I never mailed it out. So I got to get another one, or I gotta tell the Mormons that like, oh, I mailed this and I never got it back, and see if they'll send me another one for free or whatever. But shout out to the Mormons. But there's something to me about hearing the bagpipes that just brings this nostalgia.
Oh, dude, I have two cousins that play bagpipes, and it's like, man, any like family gathering, they'll just whip it out, and you're like, fuck yeah, I love those things.
And I used to, and McElwain knows this from when I was driving the van with the Trey Lewis boys. It'd be like late at night, we'd be driving in like Kansas or some bumfuck state, and I'd be like tired, but I'd be the one driving, being the tour manager, and I'd be like, all right, I got to stay awake. I'm going to play the instrumental, well, AC/DC, but also like the just instrumental bagpipe shit or Dropkick Murphys or like that shit,
dude.
And they're like, what the fuck is this? Because the Southerners don't know. They don't know about the bagpipes.
No.
They don't know about that big old fire, that heavy set 350-pound Irish fireman, volunteer fireman who's banging on the drums in the back of the parade, dude.
Dude, when I was in like Yonkers or something.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was I remember like as I was like writing that album and making stuff, I was listening to "It's a Long Way to the Top" by AC/DC when the bagpipes come in, and I texted my cousin. I was like, "Dude, we gotta put bagpipes on. I want to put bagpipes on the song. Like eventually, I haven't done it yet. I'm still going to do it.
Yeah,
in
the moment you do that,
I'm throwing bagpipes on a song.
You have Raised Rowdy's full support. I am in on that shit.
It'd be so cool. I mean, like, and it wouldn't be anything crazy. It was just because like that song, it's just straight like hard guitars and rock, and then it just comes in, and you're like, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool just to throw in like a song on like a project.
Yeah, the Pearl River Parade, dude, is just wild. Or at least it was when I was a kid. I haven't been up there post-COVID, and there's that strip of bars. I forget what the name of the street is, but there's like 7 or 8 bars there.
Is it the one with the saloon?
The one with the saloon, yeah. Saloon's there, Noonan's is there, Frankie and Johnny's is there. There's a bunch of like just Irish names.
Yeah,
and then
I've never really explored.
to
That's the only bar I've been to there.
And it's cool is they have the train station right there, so you can take the train from there right over to Hoboken. And I know I've talked about building the train to go from Rockland, go across the river over the TZ, parallel to it and stuff. And that's how I get to Yankee Stadium usually when I go to a game, which I haven't been.
Dude,
I
was telling the best this is like one of my favorite stories. I was telling it yesterday in the van to my band. Because we would always just hop on, because there's a train station in Pleasantville.
Yeah.
You hop on the train, you just drink a million beers, and you end up in Yankee Stadium, and it's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I was just telling the story. This is crazy. This is like one of the only fights I've like got into. We were playing the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And so it went extra innings. We won. It was fucking nuts. And we're walking outside the stadium, me and my friends, and we're just fucking rinsed, like so drunk.
Where were you sitting at? Do you remember?
I don't know, dude. I really don't remember a lot of it, honestly. We're probably in the bleachers. Yeah, I mean,
that's where I'm usually at, in left field.
Just a bleacher creature. But we're walking outside the stadium, and we see a group of Yankee fans like our age, like getting into it with a group of like Red Sox fans our age too. Actually, they were older. They were like older dudes. But yeah, because we were like 19, 20, and these kids were probably like 25, 26. So we walk up to them, we're like, oh, yeah, we're backing up. We just fucking won. Like, fuck those Red Sox. Like, we're going to – it was the most New York thing ever. And then me and my friends pull up, and the original Yankee fans that were fighting with these kids are just, like, disappear. So now we're, like, in, like, this argument for no reason, and it's just getting heated. We're like shoving each other, this and that, and somehow we got to the consensus of like picking one person from each friend group to just duke it out.
Yeah.
and but the deal was like we pick one of them, they pick one of us, and I'm like the smallest kid out of my friend group, so they picked me, and I was like, oh baby, let's go, like I'm gonna just drop this kid, and they picked like this tall, lanky kid, and he was literally wearing like the Boston shirt of like him of the Boston like kid like pissing on a Yankee fan.
Oh,
Have you seen those shirts?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So immediately like I just picked him up. I literally like walked him over to the grass because we were on concrete being smart. And I just fucking just threw him on the ground.
Yeah,
like,
you don't fight a wrestler.
No, but then I got off immediately because he was like, I think I knocked the wind out of him. He was kind of like, ugh, like one of those, and I just got off of him, and I was like, that's that, and I was like about to start booking it because it's Yankee Stadium, there's cops everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And then my friend fucking runs over with his tall boy, just dumps it all over him, and then like. Then the cops come and there's like a dog and we just book it, and those kids get in trouble and we don't because we won, dude. It's like New York,
they're
bro.
Boston fans in New York. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts. But that was like I was telling that story yesterday and I forgot about it. Dude, it was like the most New York thing ever. Like,
yeah, dude. I remember my first Yankee Red Sox game. I went with my dad, who's from New England, but is a Yankees fan. Smartly, that's part of the reason I think my mom ended up agreeing to marry him back in the day, was because he converted over. When they were at Quinnipiac, he remembers watching the ball roll through Bill Buckner's leg, and he's like, "All right, I'm done with this shit," and then married my mom. But I remember just watching and just seeing the chaos of a Yankees Red Sox game, because this was like 2002, 2003. So it was a lot worse before the Red Sox started winning. They've gotten a lot better, if you can believe it.
Yeah.
As people since Boston started winning. Just like Phil, I will not go to a game at Fenway because I don't think I can control myself, and I think it would end really badly. I can't go to a game at Fenway, and I cannot go to a Giants Eagles game in Philadelphia.
I think that. I mean, those are both pretty dangerous.
But we are too. Like it's like we're all kind of like cousins, Like it's a wild.
We're just diehard, freaking up north gritty people. That's all it is.
Yeah, there is that grit to the Northeast and everything. So for you too with the music stuff. Now, what's it been like being down here and like going out on the road, and like what was the process like of? You're now signed to a publishing deal. You're signed to a booking deal. You have a badass manager. Like,
no, she's the best.
How did all this like kind of come to be? So you put up the album January of this year.
I put up the album in January this year, and then a guy named Chris Poole he works for BMG or like Broken Bow.
Yeah.
It was just, intro stuff. I actually grabbed breakfast with him. He's just cool, just great dude.
Yeah.
He came up to see a show we played at Gramercy. It was like this long bill of people playing, like my producer's band was playing and this other band. And we, it was cool. We got to play Gramercy Theater.
Yeah.
And he came up, he took me out to dinner and then watched that show, and he was like, you got to get down to Nashville. And I was like, okay, I'll get down there eventually. And my mom booked me a flight for the next week. So I was like, I guess I'm going to Nashville. And then, so the flight's booked. And then, like, literally 2 days before I get on the plane to go down here for the first time, Justine DM'd me. Like, just, hey, like, love your stuff. Like, do you have a manager? This, that, blah, blah. And I was like, no. Like, that's pretty good. Like, coincidental. And then I met her. I met her at, like, a breakfast spot, and she was awesome. Immediately could tell she was just like smart, just like quick. And
had she been managing other people at this point? Or
she still manages Marty Stewart, the bluegrass guy.
That's cool that you're with somebody who's with an act that's a lot older. And she used to be
day to day for Miranda Lambert.
Oh, cool. Okay, so she's looking.
Yeah, she's been around, but I think she's kind of like me, and like she's very motivated and like just wants to build this up like with me, which is so awesome. You can't really want anything more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a blessing. She's the best. So I got hooked up with her, and then played that round, and like did the meetings with the booking stuff. And Neil was like freaking awesome. Like they're the best. Everyone there it's like a little family over there.
And with a very talented roster of acts you can open for and learn. Biggest thing is just soaking it up and learning, dude.
It's ridiculous, dude. Yeah, I mean, 2 days ago, we opened for Riley Green. It was me and Lauren Watkins.
And that's what, your third time opening for Riley?
That was my third time, yeah. And that one was like the biggest. Like the first two were like 18. They were sold out like 1,800 people or something. This one was like 10,000. It was like 8 to 10,000. And dude, you just get up there and you're like fucking like you don't even know what's going on. You're in like autopilot mode. But it was something I never thought I'd get to do, like playing in front of a crowd like that. So that was a ton of fun. And then I got to see Lauren Watkins play. And
she's awesome. She's been on here before.
Yeah, I think I watched that one.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Her and Wade. That kid rips.
That kid rips, and that kid is awesome. And what's great about him too is he's another young buck that's doing the college thing. And I've told him, like, just you're this far into it, just get your fucking degree. Like, you're able to still go to Red Door, make the connections. You've got, like, he's been on a few different gigs because he's been out and played with Noah Hicks. He's been out and played with a lot of his boys like Connor Sweeney and those kids that are out of the Carolinas as well. But he's like the balancing of school and touring like he's touring with Lauren is crazy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and my band, aside from my guitar player who came with me from New York, they're all Belmont kids too. Like they're like one's like an audio major, like sound and stuff like that, and then the other one's majoring in bass, which is great because he plays the bass. So,
yeah.
Yeah, the whole Belmont thing is crazy. I mean, they're all just like so talented. It's crazy. Like those kids are just so good. I mean. And they just like they truly just like live, eat, sleep music. Like it's everything to them.
Yeah, it's a different world,
dude. It's crazy, yeah.
So that's freaking awesome, dude. Well, have you gotten to talk to Riley at all, or like gotten to meet him a little bit?
I met him.
'Cause it's tough sometimes when you're opening, and
I'm not one to ever step on like anyone's shoes or anything. I'm here to do a job. That's really all it is. My girlfriend, on the other hand, will definitely want to, front up to him and give him a hug, probably. But no, I only met him. I mean, I think he might have gave me like a wave or something and like shouted me out on stage, but we didn't like sit down and talk. But the first show, I was wearing like a Neil hat, and he was like asking me about that, and then we were like talking this and that. I realized the sheer mass of that dude. He's huge.
We call him Redneck Adonis, the Greek god of the South.
He's jacked.
Yeah, he's the Greek god of the South.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, man, like, holler at me if you need me. I was like, I probably won't do that, but like, thanks, man. I was like, I can't just call you up, like, yo, can I grab a beer or something? Yeah. But no, he's super awesome guy. I'm having a blast just doing stuff like that for him.
Yeah, and I saw you've got some dates too within the Neal family with our boy Josh Ross.
Yeah, I got one so far. I think it's in Colorado. Yeah, I haven't met him yet.
Dude,
heard a lot of great stuff.
Josh is the shit. He's a really good dude. He's Canadian, but really good guy. We've had him on the pod before.
Oh, cool.
He's a really nice guy, and his band's great. And he's out on the Nickelback tour right now. So
which is wild.
Like, I haven't seen Josh now for probably like. Well, I saw him at Tailgate and Tall Boys. We were at a festival. We've been going to a lot of festivals with Raised Rowdy and gotten to see different parts of the country and do that, which has been cool. But aside from that, he's just been gone for like just every day they're gone, because Nickelback tours like 4 or 5 days a week where they're all over the country and doing different shit. So I'm super stoked for you with all that. What's the plan as far as, are you enjoying co-writing? Like, have you done a lot of that yet? Because that's a whole different thing for you. You write all these songs, and you see success with these songs, and you're able to tell your story. But now collaborating is a little bit different with other writers.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely some co-writes I've had where like I'll lose myself a bit, and like it wouldn't be something like I would want to do. Like put out like that song we like created that day, like it just wouldn't like fit. Which is completely fine, because songs live on forever. You never know who might want to sing on it 10 years from now. But then there's also other co-writes I've had, like I wrote with Colton Venner and Johnny Clausen.
Dude,
those guys
are my guys.
They're the best, dude. And what's funny is
those dudes.
I was covering Colton like in my dorm room, and then like I think he like sent me a DM like a few months back, and he was like, "Oh, hey man, like you're actually good." I was like, "Thanks, dude." And then we got it right booked, and Johnny was awesome. He made like a sick demo. And then I wrote with Ben Chapman, who's also freaking sweet.
Dude, that's another homie.
I'm so pumped. I got I got a right booked with him and Tyler Haverson.
Dude.
And Tyler's like, dude, I love his stuff.
That
like,
is one of my best friends in town.
Oh, he's awesome.
Tyler and Ben. During COVID, we spent a lot of time together. We
Yeah.
smoked a lot. I learned about Western marijuana music. Marijuana music. Those guys are two of our. That's awesome, man. Those are guys that I see you like collaborating with and doing some cool shit with.
They're cool dudes, man. And it's gonna be cool with Tyler because I was also on that tour with Cam Sackey band, and I had the whole, Texas, thing going on for like a few months of my life, and that was cool. I really had a warm welcome in Texas, because
that's rare to find, by the way.
Because I made sure to not say I was from New York.
Yeah,
and I wear these hats like all the time.
Yeah.
So, but no, Texas was awesome. The Cam Sackey dudes are freaking awesome too. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm so pumped for that ride. Tyler's
when is
cool.
that? When is that right? It's coming up.
Probably. I'd have to check. I don't think it's till like the end of August, honestly, because I'm playing in Atlantic City in a few weeks. The tidal wave.
Yeah, dude. That's gonna be really cool for you.
Oh yeah, it's like a 20-minute set. But it's
are you gonna cover Bruce?
I think I'm gonna play Atlantic City.
I feel like you have to.
I know, dude. Yeah, I was either gonna do literally do Atlantic City, but I also thought like if I do any Bruce song, people are gonna love it. So, yeah.
That's sick, man.
Yeah,
that's really fucking cool. And you'll have to tell Tyler and Ben. I mean, they'll probably see that you were on here and stuff. But they're long time. Like I had them playing rounds like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Ben's freaking. He's awesome. We wrote just me and him together. And he's a real thinker. He feels it, man. Like he.
Yeah. Have you seen him full band yet?
No, but I've seen videos on YouTube and it's incredible.
Yeah, you got to get.
He's a killer guitar player.
When he does those peach jams at the basement.
I live right down the street, and I saw some show at the basement for the first time, and it's just so cool.
We're getting ready to do a Raised Rowdy thing there.
No way.
There's a couple things that I have in my. Obviously, anytime you want to play, we're more than happy to have you. You're fucking family, but like we want to do. Two things I'm thinking of that I want to have you on. We're doing a thing called Underground Country that we're going to be starting at the basement.
Underground
Country, literally underground. It's going to be like a house show kind of thing where it's going to be like all word of mouth. So we're going to say that we're doing it and then kind of hint at who the artists are playing it. And it's going to be like a $10 ticket and you can buy your ticket ahead of time. But if you're not there by the time the show starts, we're going to let people in that are in line and want to come out and use the door and things like that. But we want to get like acts that we fuck with. So like you, fucking Lakeview, Trey Lewis, Ella Langley, Ben Chapman, like all those folks. But Ben does Peach Jam usually once a month. He did it. They haven't. I don't know when the next one is, but it's usually him.
He just had one. It was like on the sign for a while.
Yeah, him and Meg always post the videos. Meg, his girlfriend Meg McCree is fantastic too, and Harper O'Neill's in that crew. I mean I'm
right with her like next week. I think.
No shit.
Yeah.
We had her on. We had her on probably less than a month ago.
She's I just dove into her. I haven't even spoken to her yet.
Yeah, she's great
because we're just both busy, but. I was listening to her stuff, which is incredible, and then I was like looking at her like songs I wrote tab, and it was like two of like my favorite Tyler Haverson songs.
Yep.
I was like, oh man, these guys are all in the same circle.
Yeah, dude, that whole
great.
crew came out of Revival, which is a writers round that's here in town that I think I was telling you about. I want you to get out and do one of those too.
Man.
But the other night that I want to do, and this will be the first time talking about it on this podcast. We're going to do it in the fall. It's going to be on a Tuesday. We have a lot. Like we have our butt rock night that we're going to be doing again. We're going to be doing West Turnt. We're going to be doing a night that's called like Sneakerhead Country. Like all the country guys, all the country artists that wear J's and like sneakers like us.
I don't wear boots.
Yeah, I
can't do it, man.
I do. I wear Tim's. Those constitute as boots.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tim's and the flat brim Yankee hat.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure. We're going to do a night, and we're going to call it Northern Aggression, and it's going to be all guys and girls from the Northeast. So, like you, Matt Mulhair, who I put you in a group text with the other night, who's from he's from Orange County, like from like the Florida, New York area.
Is he a writer?
He's a writer. He's signed at Red Creative. He's got a cut with he's got a song that Travis Denning's about to put out.
Sweet.
He's got a song with Skis. He writes a lot with like the guys that are in Ernest's camp over at Big Loud. Oh, wow. So Matt Mulhair's the shit. Mulhair is you'll feel like you're talking to one of your boys back home. Like
that's great. We got it right.
Yeah, he's a Goshen kid. And Goshen, like Florida area, up there in Orange County. But I want to get like you two. I want to get like Kyle Starock. Johnny kind of
Kyle. He's from the Northeast.
He's from Connecticut.
No shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think I have a right with him because he's also at Universal.
Yeah, Kyle's awesome, and he's one of our favorite guys to have on the rounds. And then we're gonna get like Lauren Weintraub and Morgan Johnston because they're from Boston. We're gonna get like Big Rob Snyder, who's got some Luke Combs hits and writes host. He's the one that started that revival thing I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Vinny Paolizzi, Alex Maxwell, and we want to try to get our friends from Lakeview to close it out full band.
Dude, hell yeah.
One of the guys from Lakeview, Jesse, was actually born and he lived like his early childhood in Monroe in Orange County. So,
dude,
but they're both him and Luke, the duo Lakeview. They're originally from Pittsburgh.
Man, it's crazy. I didn't realize there's that many people,
bro. And then like
down here,
and then Claire Ernst, she's a Jersey Shore girl. Like we're gonna have a night, and it's gonna be all folks from the Northeast.
It's gonna be nuts.
We're gonna do that, and we're gonna call it Northern Aggression. And I'm very excited. And we're gonna do it in the fall, so I can wear my Timbs. It's too hot for jeans and Timbs right now down here. And I'll let you know when that'll be a Tuesday in October or November sometime, which would be really cool, dude. But
hell yeah.
What's the plan as far as like new music coming out? Because you put out an album beginning of the year, and that stuff seems to be going well. And now you're just out there touring, learning the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been super eager to put stuff out, but I gotta let that album live for like a little bit. I think it's almost time to. I want to put out like a single at the end of the summer, and then probably a single in the fall, and then I'm just writing for this next album. I've probably got like, I got more than enough songs for an album right now, but there's probably like 6 or 7 that like definitely are gonna stick around, and then like the other, 5 or 6 that would go on, and I'm just trying to keep knocking out, like replacing them with better songs. So I'm working on it, and I'm pumped. I mean, I think I'm still kind of writing in the same realm of what I've got, but it's just growing a little bit more. And there's still shit ton of songs that I wrote by myself. There's songs I wrote with my guitar player, and there's also songs I'm like starting to write now with like Colton and Johnny, and hopefully me and Ben and Tyler will get one. I mean, I think there's a big like thing about co-writing nowadays, especially when you got guys like Zach Bryan, of course. Right, and then, but then there's the whole end of the spectrum, like Morgan Wallen. He writes a lot of his own stuff, but he also doesn't even write some of his own stuff.
That song wins.
Exactly, yeah. So it doesn't like, and I'm not either which way at all. I don't care, dude. If it fucking sounds cool, it sounds cool. You know what I mean? So like, and there's songs that I'll start writing like in my apartment where I'll be like, okay, I should keep this to myself. It's just gonna make more sense if I do. Like it has to just be me writing this one. And there's other songs where I'm like, I'll jot down a chorus or an idea. I'm like, oh, this would be cool to bring to, whoever. So like, I'm excited to like kind of create that blend of stuff. Of the more personal stuff I'm kind of keeping to myself. Writing by myself. And then, you never know what's going to come out of a writer's room at like 11 in the morning on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
so
absolutely, bro, for sure. I got to hit you with some New York questions. So,
go ahead.
So like obviously the mob movies back home. You grew up in like an Irish like Union family and stuff. Do you prefer Goodfellas or do you prefer The Sopranos?
Oh,
those two. You got to pick one.
Probably Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
Yeah. Like that cooking scene.
Yeah,
it's the shit, dude.
Dude, and Joe Pesci sitting down.
Dude,
at dinner.
Makes you want to eat like him slicing the garlic with the razor.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, those are classic. If you had what meal do you miss most about back home?
Oh man,
because we got a lot of good food back home, and they don't have it down here. They just don't.
It's ridiculous. Man, probably.
And it could be mom's cooking too.
Yeah, my mom does. My mom and my dad are great cooks, and I cook a lot too. So I feel like I'll try to like cook what they have. But if it comes to like New York stuff, probably a slice from Pleasantville Pizza. Yeah, just a good plain fucking slice of pizza that's just thin and perfect and really good. And actually, there's pizza down here I really liked, but and probably like just a fat deli sandwich.
Yeah, dude. There's nothing like I can't wait to go home and get a chicken cutlet.
Oh man,
I can't wait to get a chicken cutlet
Yeah,
sandwich.
you
I can't wait
can't-
to get an Italian combo with the oil on it. Like what everybody gets to enjoy with Jersey Mike's, we get the real thing. We get
Yeah,
what Jersey
exactly,
Mike's
yeah.
is trying to be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they honestly they're killing it.
Oh, I like Jersey
I
Mike's.
love Jersey
I
Mike's.
fuck Jersey Mike's. I have the rewards program on my phone. I'm a big Jersey Mike's guy.
Yeah, dude.
Trey does his bus calls in Hermitage and by the Kroger, and there's a Jersey Mike's over there, and like that would be
That's
my
the thing.
go-to to pop
Yeah.
in and get a sandwich before we would leave. What's your go-to breakfast at the local deli? What are you getting?
Oh, go to breakfast. I'm gonna have to go. I mean, if I'm feeling fancy, I'll go to Rocky's Deli. If I'm just hungover as shit and need something greasy, I'll go to Frank and Joe's. Or
What are you getting though?
what am I getting? Now where am I going? Just bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. Sometimes I'll throw some avocado on there, or sometimes I'll throw some hash brown on there.
Yeah, the Bobo.
Yeah, just
The Bobo is a game changer.
Yeah.
I can't wait to introduce my girlfriend to that.
yeah, dude.
The Bobo with the crispy fucking hash brown on there.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
greasy.
man.
No, are you an SPK guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I am too.
every time. Salt, pepper, ketchup every single time.
Yes, salt, pepper, ketchup, and I'm a bacon, egg, and cheese guy. But there's something also special about that bagel with just a pound of fucking cream cheese on it,
yeah,
bro.
dude. I miss a bagel too. Fuck, man. I haven't even tried to find a bagel place down
There's
here.
a place in Mount Juliet called Jersey Oven. Grady Smith actually sent it over to me the other
really?
day and I'm like, Grady, I've known about this. I live in Hermitage, right next door. But since it's Jersey, they call it pork roll. But they have some really good Taylor ham, egg and cheese
Taylor
sandwiches
ham. That's the Jersey
on good
thing.
bagels.
That's not like
Yeah, see,
dude. Even if you just say that across the Tappan Zee Bridge at a deli, sometimes people will be like, "What?"
Yeah, see, I would get the Taylor ham and cheese. This guy, a typical New York name. He worked for my mother and my grandfather for years. His name's Gary Bianco. Just sounds like
How you doing?
he was a big fucking gorilla. Smoked 2 packs of Marlboro Reds a day in the delivery truck, delivering the bottled water, all that shit. But he would get on a seated fucking like club roll or a hero roll. It was just fucking Taylor ham and cheese, no egg, just a fucking stack of the salty Taylor ham and cheese on
That's
a fucking
gritty.
seated club roll, bro.
Yeah, man. I've only had like a true New Jersey like Taylor ham, egg and cheese like probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I can't wait to get a bacon, egg, and cheese, and I'll walk around the deli and say BEC SPK, and they'll know exactly what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
And then I can't wait to get some slices. I'm doing that food tour on Thursday, going in the village and hitting like all the spots in the village.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I think we're going to I don't know if it'll be Carmine's or the Pine or someplace in the city. We're doing an Italian dinner, and then we're going to a comedy show at the Cellar.
Comedy show.
Yeah,
Hell
which I'm
dude.
excited about because my brother lives in Brooklyn, and growing up, I didn't go into the city that often.
I really didn't either.
Because we had everything we needed in the suburbs.
Yeah, and also I'm not a fan of the city or that much.
I wasn't
really.
either. I used to wish it would float away.
Yeah.
I used to wish it would float away and just leave me Yankee Stadium in the Garden, and that's it.
Dude. Yo, you know what's crazy? I've never been to Madison Square Garden.
You've never been to the Garden?
Swear to God,
bro.
dude.
What the fuck?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big hockey fan, and I've never.
And the Knicks have been dead in our lifetime.
Yeah, and I'm not like and I've just never seen a concert there.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of a sin I haven't seen at least like Billy Joel or something. But
Yeah, I've seen. I remember I was still in high school. It was 2013, and it was the Aldine had just put out Night Train, and so it was the Night Train tour, and it was Aldine, a long-haired young Jake Owen, Barefoot Blue Jean Night had just come out, and then a baby Thomas Rhett when his biggest song was
Wow.
"Beer with Jesus."
My first concert was Kip Moore, Casey Musgraves, and then there was Lady A's.
Okay.
And it was at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Oh, dude, Uncasville, bro, Mohegan Sun fucks.
Dude, it's sick.
That's a venue I'm hoping that Trey gets to go to soon because he's been starting to do casino shows. Because what's great about that, you play a show up there, they give you the hotel room, and they give you like everybody in the band gets their own hotel room,
Dude,
which is dangerous.
I played. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, dude.
But,
And then you get a gift card, and you get to use that at any of the restaurants and use that for drinks and stuff.
Yeah, we played you know the Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma?
Yeah. Trey, I think Matt, they were just there in Choctaw Casino. Yeah.
Yeah, so I played there with Cam Saki Band, and that was just, and I've never gambled them. I'm not a gambler at all. I really just, the only thing I've ever like placed bets on is like a McGregor fight or something.
Yeah, half the Irish boy.
Yeah. But I've never gambled, never even been to a casino, and I was there, and I was like, fuck it, like I lost like $300 in a slot machine. A slot machine, dude. I was just like hammered. I was like, I'm here, just fucking whatever, dude. But but that place was nuts, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's a different world going out there. I'm glad you've gotten to experience Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Because reservation land is very different. East Texas is different from West Texas, which is different from North Texas, which is different from San Antonio and South Texas. And there's so many. And you're, with the booking deal that you have, you're going to be traveling all over the damn place.
Oh, I'm pumped,
Like,
dude.
you really are.
Already,
You're going to see every coast. Like, I've been from growing up in the Northeast, where all the states are just a couple hours from each other. I've been to all of the Northeast, and then I've been, I think, to 44 states.
Oh my
life.
gosh.
I've been to 44. Because you got to remember, I toured with Musket on Bloodline and the Sprinter van, and I toured with Trey in the van and in the bus for 3 years.
Yeah.
So like, I've seen and done it all.
I mean, I'm starting to reach some big numbers of states I've been to, but yeah, man, I'm definitely like just diving deep into this whole other part of the country. I haven't been back to New York since March.
Bro.
So
Isn't it crazy?
yeah, I've been like in this world for a while now.
Yeah, your parents enjoy coming down here?
Oh, they love it, dude. They were here for. They came down to look at houses and stuff because they want to get a house down here.
Smart.
And I'll be paying rent until they retire, and I'll get my own place again. Because right now I'm just in a tiny apartment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were looking at houses, and then they came to watch me in Virginia, and they literally rented a car from Virginia, and they're driving to Myrtle Beach because I'm playing there and like I have family there.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of making a. Well, actually, my dad can't work because the actors are on strike.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, the actors.
It's like, what do I do?
So they're just kind of, just road tripping around, having the time of their lives, I guess.
Nice, dude. Well, next time they're here in Nashville, if it lines up, I'd love to grab lunch with you guys
That'd be
hang out.
great.
What's your dad's name again?
Phil,
That's right.
Yeah.
Phil and Kath. Yeah. And then you got any siblings?
Yeah, I got a sister, Megan. She's a special needs teacher like my mom. She works at Ardsley.
There you go.
She works at Ardsley, and yeah. I mean,
Has she been down here at all?
yeah, she came down here for CMA Fest, and
Ooh.
I think she was drunk like the whole time.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
That was my first time on Broadway too, because I've like never had an urge to go there, and my sister was like, "You're coming," and
How was that?
oh, we just got fucking blacked out.
Where'd you guys go? Do you remember?
We went to Kid Rock's bar,
Oh, the loudest bar in the world.
and then we went. Yeah, that stage is nuts.
You hear it from across the street.
Yeah, but I won't lie, dude. Like, now I'm like a songwriter and artist. Hearing those cover songs is fucking the best thing in the world when you're that drunk.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's
There's
like
there's
the
a
best.
reason, bro. There's nothing like seeing a good cover band.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, it was amazing. So we got hammered. She had a great time. My sister.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to go to your show at the Hard Rock that night or that day because we hosted like 6 or 7 we were all over the place that week.
Yeah.
How was that Hard Rock show?
It was a lot of fun, and then lightning struck, and I was the one who was playing when the set
no.
got cut. I was halfway through the idea of me, and then I had another song to play, and this big security dude just like ran up and started going like this, and my girlfriend starts freaking out because I was like, oh shit, I just unplugged my cable. It sounded like a gunshot. My girlfriend's crying, trying to get me off stage. People are running inside. It was a mess, dude. Like, it was crazy. But I'm just happy I got to play at least a few songs because the people after me, I don't think, like Logan Crosby was supposed to play right after me, and I don't think he got to. So.
Yeah, and he's a great kid too. I don't know if you've he's one of my favorite dudes.
Super nice kid.
One of my favorite.
He's real
hangs in
funny
town.
too. Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's hilarious. I know he's working on a Chili's endorsement right now,
No
which I
way.
think needs to happen. Well, dude, I mean, he talks about Chili's all the time,
Yeah.
and he's
or that
working.
or Diet Coke, I guess.
Bro, Chili's and Diet Coke. I mean, that's the guy he'll come over and just smoke a cigar. But you got to come over and hang at the house.
Dude,
sometime,
I have
bro.
to, man. I've been trying to just settle in and like.
Is the girlfriend back
just
at school, or is she still here in town?
She's still here, yeah. So we definitely got to do something, man. And I think so I got these Tin Roof shows, these last ones, and then I'm kind of chilling out till Tidal Wave. So I think at like next week or the weeks after this week, I should.
Yeah, dude,
definitely
come
go
over to the
to-
house. I don't know if you're a cigar guy or not, but we can teach
I'll
you.
smoke
to be.
them for sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have plenty. We have lots of cigars, right, McElwain? We have lots of cigars, and we have a free beer deal. So we have 10 cases of free
Dude.
beer just chilling at the house. We get free cigars, free cool. We have coolers from Orca Coolers. We're making some money, but we're getting a lot of free shit,
Hey.
which is something, So
Free shit's good shit.
it's fun, dude. And man, I appreciate you coming on and
Dude, of
hanging
course,
with us. I know
man.
you got, and I know you're busy and got a lot of shit going on, dude. But where can people go to find you on all the socials and all that shit?
Yeah, it's just Aidan Canfield on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. I don't even think I have a Facebook or something, but
Really, you're that young? You don't even have a Facebook?
I have one. I don't use it.
Don't do music and stuff on there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really bad at social media stuff. Besides TikTok, because I can
That's what Justine's there.
record, throw it out. Yeah, exactly. And then music is just Aidan Canfield wherever you get it.
And one last thing, big day for us Giants fans. Did you see the news?
No.
We re-signed Saquon.
What?
Yeah.
Also, dude, I was so out of it. I've been so out of like the sports realm since I was in like high school, like catching up with it. I just saw a picture of Aaron Rodgers in a Jets jersey, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "When did that happen?"
Yeah, he looks like Nicolas Cage from Con
Dude,
Air. He looks like shit.
It looks like he's wearing a costume.
Yeah, he looks like shit. And you know how much money he's paying? He's making like $40-something million a year. It's
Oh my
ridiculous.
God, dude.
And you know it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be Brett Favre 2.0. They're going to fuck it up. Just like the Mets. The Mets went out. The Mets spent $100 million more than the Yankees this year. And they are trash, and it's awesome, and I love that the Mets are sucking.
Yeah, fuck the
I
Mets.
have no love because you're like me. You're a Big Brother fan, right? Yankees, Giants, and then you don't really pay attention to hockey and basketball.
Yeah.
But if you did, you'd probably be Rangers and Knicks if you had to pick one.
Definitely Rangers. 100%.
Definitely Rangers. Okay,
Yeah. Islanders doesn't even feel like New York to me.
yeah, it's right. It's a whole other fucking world out there. But yeah, you, me, Mulhair, and I've got some other good friends. Radio Rod, his name on Instagram, Rodney Smith. He's a big Giants fan, even though he's from Texas. And my friend Erin Mulligan, she's from Long Island, and we all get together during the fall and watch the Giants
Dude, we got to
games.
watch some Giants games.
We absolutely do, dude. There's a place called the Lost Patty. You'd love it. Irish place.
Oh, hell yeah.
And there's another spot called McNamara's I got to take you to. They do original like Irish style music on Fridays.
Oh, shit.
And they have great corned beef sandwiches. They have like a huge whiskey selection. That's where we should go with Phil and Kath next time your parents are in town.
Oh, my dad would eat that up.
We'll go to it's called McNamara's. It's in Donaldson
Hell
by
yeah.
the
My
airport.
dad like collects whiskey. So.
Yeah, dude. Oh, bro, they got like a variety of like 70 different kinds of like. They just have like a ton of shit, and then they do like the Irish dancing and whatever. It's a really cool building. It looks like a big house, and it's like divided up into a few areas. But the Lost Patty is like the official Giants watch party.
Oh, dude.
So it's all Giants fans on Sundays.
That's so cool. Those little things you got going on here, like in Tennessee, just a little Giants.
Well, dude, everybody's from everywhere. Just like Live Oak is a damn Patriots bar.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Live Oak's a Patriots bar because the Patriots fan club pays them. And on Sundays, like we can't do Rowdy on the Rail on a Sunday night because if there's a Patriots game on a Sunday night, they play the game audio and play the game on the projector screen. Anytime there's a Patriots game, and there's like different, like every team pretty much has a bar. And then on Saturdays, Live Oak is a Florida State bar.
Wow.
It's a Florida State Alumni Association. His grandfather.
It's crazy how that shit happens.
Like Doghouse is an Alabama bar. Like every team kind of has their like watch party where they're Nashville fan club or people that are visiting town that are fans of those.
That's awesome.
You haven't been here in the fall.
No.
So you're gonna see.
I heard it's beautiful. It's like the best fall ever.
It's beautiful. It's great. You don't have the leaves changing quite as much like you do back home. I love New York in the fall personally, but you see like the SEC football fans like. Saturdays here, and you'll be on the road for a lot of it. You'll miss some Saturdays, and you'll be driving back on Sundays. But like the falls here, when it's college football season, another fucking animal.
I mean, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, which sucks. But
there's a Notre Dame bar down here. I don't know which one it is. It probably is the Lost Patty, if I had to guess. The Lost Patty would
dude.
probably be the Notre Dame and Giants bar. It's like where you basically would be living at in the fall. So, dude, well, I appreciate you coming on.
Dude,
I'm
of course, man. Thank you so much.
I love New York in the house and you doing your damn thing and crushing it, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you fucking made the move down here, and
dude, hell yeah.
Stoked you have a lot of big things coming and more big things to come, and can't wait to get out and see a full band show, dude.
Yeah, man.
And can't wait to have you on some of our events here in the fall.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. This was a ton of fun,
dude. It's fun. It's just kicking it and hanging out.
Yeah.
We love doing it, and happy to have you as a part of the family. For
yeah,
real.
man.
Well, y'all, that's our boy Aidan Canfield. Make sure you find him on social media. If you have the website now.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just Aidan Canfield.
Yeah, how does that feel? They have a website now that's you with all your music on it, with all your tour dates.
I don't know,
all
man.
That shit. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's fucking great. So y'all be sure to go visit aidancanfield.com. He's doing the Nashville Hits the Roof circuit right now. Going to be in the Carolinas this weekend, and he's going around doing the tin roofs. Got some opening slots coming up as well. Back in Jersey, I know we got a Jersey base that watches this. Get down to the Tidal Wave Festival. Go see our boy Aidan Canfield in Atlantic City. Hear him sing Atlantic City from the boss and all that shit. And be sure to stream the hell out of his music. We love it here at Outside the Round and Raise Rowdy. Well, got to shout out our sponsors real quick. Shout out, much love to our friends at Big Friendly Productions. Great merchandising, great production out of Leeds, Alabama. Quick, easy with good payment plans. Be sure to also check out Whaletail Media, Saxman Studios, our boy Mitch Wallace with the digital marketing agency. And of course, you want more information on us here at Outside the Round, visit raiserowdy.com. Come check out our events at Live Oak. Buy some merch online and check out the other podcasts that we have here in our network. So for my boy Aidan, for Sweet Boy behind the camera, my name is Matt Burrill, and this has been Outside the Round.
I ain't never been the kind for staying in one place for too long. I ain't never been the best at saying I love you to a